Hobbitses.
Sorry, what?
Oh, I thought it was like a reference to like Hobbitses.
Hobbitses.
Like that's how they.
Oh yeah,
That's how Gollum. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to episode 136 of Rhythm Encounter, the RPG fan music podcast. I'm your host, Mike Salbato, and I am suffering from allergies. A little bit, not too bad, but if I sound stuffy or weird today, that's why. So basically, I'm going to spend the rest of the episode talking only as much as I need to and letting everyone else pick up my slack. So, everyone else today, starting with Audra.
Hi.
Hello. Nice to have you here again.
Oh, always a pleasure.
Gio is here as well.
Hello.
Hello. And rounding out our panel today is Tin.
Hi.
Hello.
Glad to be here again.
So am I, actually. So, I feel like it's been way too long since I recorded. Like, I know we generally do these every 2 weeks, but this one's a little behind, so I'm like, wow, when's the last time I recorded an episode of this? But we have a really fun topic today, and this is actually your idea, Gio. I forgot which episode we were doing. Wasn't it like as we were like doing another episode, you threw this idea out there?
I did, and it was like a shower thought. I was thinking of like songs that I was just thinking of music in general, and then I was like, oh, what if we did this for Rhythm Encounter or something? And it's really just that simple.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, yeah. So your idea was, and if anyone looking at the track list will immediately figure this out. The idea was finding each person would bring on 2 songs with the same exact name or basically the same name from different games, and we would just compare and contrast, because we kept noticing like, oh, well, there's certain terms or words that tend to show up a lot, especially in RPG soundtracks, and I think it's just a lot of fun. It was a good idea, and boy, I don't know about the rest of you, but I spent way too much time planning.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know you went through like hundreds and hundreds of tracks,
probably thousands.
I did almost the same, but like, because like I maintain like a playlist on YouTube of like songs I like, and then so I look at each of the songs and I was like, okay, well, which of these probably would have like a song with the exact same name. And so it took me like a few hours to track down which songs were like did have like pairs name wise.
Right. Yeah.
I'd come up with the song that I was like, oh, that would be an interesting one, and then I was like, I bet there's one that has a similar title to it, and then I never could find it until like a couple hours afterwards. I narrowed down my choices.
Yeah, same here. I thought actually it would be really quick to find a good pair, but a lot of the ones that had the same name were also even the ones that had like simple themes. So like what you guys were saying earlier before we started recording, like all those battle themes, battle 1, battle 2, fanfare 1 or whatever. Yeah, those are the easy ones, but yeah, I decided to bring something that's also not often being brought up by people, so look forward to it.
Yeah, actually, I'll mention that now. Like, that was something we decided very early on when planning this episode, is it would be way too easy to figure out similar names if we went with things like battle or end credits or final battle. Like, we decided really, really common terms like that or song titles like that we were excluding. So you won't find any of that here because that's just too easy. For me, I I like to mix up things when I'm looking for songs for an episode. I will go online and listen to stuff I don't have. I'll listen to my own stuff in the app formerly known as iTunes, of stuff I own. I try not to limit it just to music I own, but also I have a lot of it. So that is usually the first place I look, at least. So I didn't even get to internet choices this time. I just went to my library because I have a playlist that I was using as a source that is just songs I have from RPGs or adventure games, which is over 14,500 songs. So
Oh, wow.
putting this together, I'm like, you know what? I didn't approach it at all the same way you guys did. I didn't go like, oh, I like this song, let's see if there's another. I said, nope, I'm going to go to this playlist and start at A and just scroll.
Oh, wow.
And I made it to M. I made it to M because after like 8,000 songs and over 100 picks potential for this episode where I only needed 2, I said, you know what? There's enough here. I will pick something from these, even though I only covered half the alphabet. And since we had, I mean, you all know this, but the listeners don't. We ended up with, it's really easy to pair songs from Final Fantasy with something else because there's just a lot of Final Fantasy music out there. So I did end up skipping Final Fantasy pairings, at least for now, which sort of helped me narrow it down. But I did want to talk about, we were talking a little off air before, but I wanted to just mention a couple pairings that I think are fun just up front of stuff I didn't pick, just to encourage people to go check it out. Things I didn't really think about until, again, I started scrolling through all of my song titles alphabetically. I realized, seeing them all together, Awakening and Determination are super, super common. You can be awoken in Persona 5 and Final Fantasy 6 and Xenogears and Lost Sphere and Fire Emblem Three Houses and Xenosaga and Link's Awakening and Tactics Ogre Reborn. There's a lot of them. A lot of awakenings. That was tempting. A lot of courage.
Yeah, I feel like those songs are like, that's why a lot of the games have that awakening track, is because it's like that's when the protagonist would awaken something in their soul.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I wonder if they're more common in RPG soundtracks versus other genres of soundtracks.
Yeah, I have a feeling a lot of it is like it's because this expression of this word is common in Japan. Like there's like a whole bunch of others, like tranquility or reminiscence. Like there's like a million of those songs.
That's true.
I think if you
Finale.
scrolled all the way down, like past M, you would have been over bombarded with those songs. Yeah.
Are you seriously telling me that after pouring over 8,500 songs, you have the nerve to say I didn't do enough?
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just saying, like, if you somehow, had the time, to do that, it's actually crazy and it becomes really overwhelming. So I'm actually glad you didn't do that.
Doing it now. I'm looking at T's now. There's a bunch of called Track 1. Wow, that's something I didn't fix the track names on. All right, yes, there is a Tranquility in Persona 3 and Final Fantasy 14. Those are the only Tranquilities I own, but I hadn't thought about those two, so that's good.
Yeah, there's like a bunch in Zero, Escape, and I think Ace Attorney or something. Yeah, I remember just seeing like 7 or 8 Tranquilities like while I was like searching.
Nice.
So
one thing I hadn't really considered until putting this together is there's obviously a lot of similar or identical titles, of course, across like individual series too. Like I was looking at some stuff. I have a lot of Zelda music, and I'm like, oh wow, there is obviously certain themes that sometimes have the same name across different games. So I sort of wonder if that could be a fun spin-off episode later. Basically, 2 different versions of a song, like of the same song, not just the same title, but like from the same series, but just arranged very differently.
Oh, I love
yeah.
Oh, that'd
Different
be
arrangement
interesting.
sounds fun.
Yeah. But before we get too far into this, there was a couple pairing specific ones I thought would be fun. Maybe we'll do this topic again one day, and I'm showing my hand too soon, but I don't know. I just really was entertained at the idea of Death's Door. This really cool, what was that, last year? Actually, it's 2022 at this point, huh? Death's Door and Near both have a song called Grandma that are very, very different, which is a fun pairing that I had not considered. Atelier Sophie and Mega Man Legends both have a song called Juno. Atelier Sophie is like this heavy guitar song, which is not what I think of for those games anyway, so I assume it's a big battle. Meanwhile, Mega Man Legends Juno is the final battle, and it's actually a song by Bach, because there's occasional actual classical music in Mega Man Legends. I was also really tempted to do Noel's theme from Final Fantasy 13-2 with Noel's theme from Shadows Over Loathing. Also very, very different, and I thought it'd be fun and clever, even though I didn't do it. But yeah.
Why didn't you?
Because I like what I have. And also, if one of those was Final Fantasy, and if I was allowing myself to do Final Fantasy, there's also the really wacky pairing of Melancholia from Final Fantasy 15, which is really chill and relaxing, with Melancholia from Xenoblade X, which is the complete opposite. That's probably the biggest contrast I came across was that name.
Yeah. I think I was originally going to bring a Final Fantasy song too. I was going to bring Calm Before the Storm from Final Fantasy X, and paired with Calm Before the Storm from Secret of Mana.
Oh.
And,
Ooh, that would have been good.
Yeah.
And I love both of those songs, but then someone told me that not to bring Final Fantasy. I'm just kidding.
Only because I didn't want 50% of our playlist to be Final Fantasy.
Yeah. And I wanted that too.
Well, I like what everyone landed on, so maybe we should talk about some of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, Audra, if you're ready, why don't you introduce our
sure.
first songs today?
My first songs are A New World from God Eater soundtrack, and Final Fantasy V, A New World from Final Fantasy V, the Distant Worlds version.
I applaud you for finding the shortest way of saying that. I was looking at our track list. I'm like, yes, Final Fantasy V, A New World from Distant Worlds 6, more music from Final Fantasy. They just get really wordy now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for them to do like even more music.
Yeah, well, maybe Distant World 7 will be that. All right, let's go listen to two different songs called The New World, and we'll be right back.
What I liked about this selection of songs is really they sound remarkably different for having the same title and general theme, as it were. I feel like both of them convey the sense of something new and different and unfamiliar, but the God Eater version is, there's like a melancholy to it and an intensity, and sometimes it's sad, sometimes it's more, you get the sense of like danger and unknown, hidden, just that there's something out there. Whereas with A New World from Final Fantasy V, it's more, I'd say, optimistic leaning in terms of instrumentation. Like there's kind of like an excitement and a hopefulness. I thought the interpretations of the title were very different in both songs, but like really well done and interesting. And gosh, I love the God Eater soundtrack, so I was just thrilled I could bring one of those on. And Final Fantasy V is no slouch either.
This song was like my introduction to God Eater, and I'm so thankful because like I was listening to a whole bunch of others. Like there's a song called something of Plenty from, I think it's the set God Eater 2, and I was like, oh my god, it's so good. Like,
yeah,
and I was just so impressed by the instrumentation in this one, and like and you're right, like I'm like, it's like they both sounded okay. The first one sounds like triumphant, or like, yeah, we're gonna fight for a new world, knowing nothing about God Eater other than that it's like a monster hunting game, but like it sounds like, yeah, we're gonna fight for a new world. And then the second one is like, oh, we are in this new world and we're trepidatious, we don't know, we don't know what this new world is like. So it's like, it's really interesting, like how they approach that, basically the same idea, kind of.
Yeah, I think it was there's an interesting contrast with the two songs.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's really what I had in mind and what I was expecting for this episode, was the contrast, but it's also fun to like find some similarities between them. A lot of what you said, Audra, was actually similar to what I was going to talk about too, like the God Eater song. And also thank you for being like the one person at the site who like still talks about God Eater. Like I'm sure someone else on staff has played them, and they were obviously popular enough to get 3 games. But no one really talks about them anymore. And then you go and listen to this, it's like, oh, it's Go Shiina. I'm like, that's pretty notable. I'm not sure how popular he was back then or how many tales and other things he had done by that time, but yeah, I mean, it's a really great song. It actually reminds me of some stuff. Some of the sounds of Nier, because it just has some like, sometimes I don't want to say strange in a bad way, just like unexpected vocal stylings. So like it adds this kind of tension, but it's interesting hearing it go between those more tense and like moments and almost peaceful stuff.
There's almost like an alien quality to the vocals.
Yes, exactly. Which really works with that title, yeah. And then for Final Fantasy V, it's more, they're both nice songs, but Final Fantasy V I would describe as just more beautiful and sort of somber. Like it has some moments where it's a little somber, or at least like you said, trepidatious, right? But then it has that more adventurous feel to it. So it's really interesting. There's a lot of, if you really dig down into it, there are some feelings and sounds that are very similar between them, even though overall they're very different songs. So yeah, I love that. I love the two totally different but similar takes on this.
Yay.
I had the same thoughts as almost everyone else. Like summary. Before, when I first started listening to Audra's tracks, and I didn't know yet their titles and which games they came from, and my first thought when I first heard the God Eater thing, I was like, this sounds like it's from Nier. Yeah, it's like a boss fight in Nier or something. And what I also had the same feeling as you guys. Like, this one is like, the feeling I got is like I'm fighting for. I have to defeat this evil darkness thing to fight for my new kind of world or something like that. While the ones from Final Fantasy V gave the feeling of hope, just like what Audra said earlier, and it's like it's more positive in a way, and it's like I'm going around, or like I'm in an airship and the world is saved, something like that. That's exactly what I felt for both tracks. But yeah, you guys pretty much summarize all of the thoughts that I had for both of these tracks. So yeah.
I know it's always the danger of being the fourth person to talk. Okay. I think that sounds like it covers it then. Gio, what do you have for us today?
I am bringing, I'm bringing Big Shot's theme from Mother 3, and from Deltarune Chapter 2, I'm bringing, you guessed it, Big Shot. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy.
Is this your like subtle way of asserting your authority as news manager? This episode's going to come out and be like, "Hey, everyone, look, Mr. Big Shot's here." I mean, well done. You know.
No, well, I mean, I was originally going to bring Calm Before the Storm. Much more tranquil.
Oh yeah.
And then you had the Big Shot all over me, so I was like, you know what? I'm the Big Shot.
I know. Are we gonna have a fight?
We are. Just kidding. Just kidding, Mike.
Not in front of the others, though. All right. Let's go listen to Big Shot's theme and Big Shot.
So yeah, I mean, I think fans of like Mother and like Undertale would could easily see like the through line between these songs, because if there's Toby Fox composed the whole Undertale and Deltarune soundtracks, and then if there's like one big inspiration behind everything in Undertale, it's Mother, it's Earthbound, and Mother 3, the whole Mother series. And I think he brings a lot of that same energy. Big, Mother 3 has like this kind of or the Earthbound games have like this manic kind of whimsy.
Mm-hmm.
And
that sense of humor.
Yeah, it's kind of like a humorous, not very serious tone. And Big Shot, Big Shot is like a big boss theme.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a very difficult boss, and but like there's like a bit of levity because it's just a bit too wacky. It's a bit too crazy, and yeah, it's just a very similar energy, and but you can hear like a bit of the Toby Fox isms, like Toby Fox, even more than Mother 3 does, like likes to weave in all these like motifs, like callbacks to other game, like other themes in the game, and so it makes for a really chaotic sounding song. Actually, I think I brought like the theme of the like the theme where the big shot motif comes from, like a few episodes ago, like the character themes one. I brought Spamton, because in Big
Yeah.
Shot, yeah, you fight Spamton as a boss. So yeah, it's like this is like a follow-up to that song, and it's really interesting. And meanwhile, Mother 3, like Big Shot's theme, well, not I don't want to spoil it, but like the Big Shot in this game it's referring to as like the main antagonist of Mother 3. So yeah, it's a very similar energy, and I found like there's a lot of overlap between both of these songs.
Yeah. When I first listened to your song picks, I was actually wondering, or also impressed, that you found two similar titles from these games, and now it actually makes sense when you mentioned about how both of these games are like that has that sense of humor, and I also realized that that the other game is also inspired by the other game, so that makes a lot more sense now. So yeah, I do prefer the version in Mother 3, to be honest.
Yeah, same here actually. I mean, it's just preference really. I like Mother 3's soundtrack is glorious, and I'm always like looking for ways to bring it to rhythm when I can.
I do like the drum beats for
Yeah.
for the Big Shots theme in Mother 3, so that's probably the main reason why I prefer this.
True. It's a live performance, by the way. Big Shots theme. It's a live performance of the main bad guy's theme. Like if you can hear like the crowd in the beginning.
I was about to ask that because I had heard like the echo of a crowd in there.
I was wondering. I'm like, is this really from a GBA?
Yeah, I know. It doesn't sound like it's from a GBA.
Well, now I want to listen to the original version.
Oh, maybe I can link it after the show.
Okay.
I like.
It sounds
the
nothing like
Delta-
this. It's like a rock version. Yeah. Sorry, Audra.
Oh no, that's okay. I was just saying I like the Deltarune song too. It's it would be great for like a dance. Kind of. There's like a
I can
dance
see
tone
it.
to it, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this was another fun comparison here. even though obviously I understand the influence one of these had on the other as well in terms of the game. But I love the energy of the, like, just this fun performance, basically. All the more reason I would describe it as a performance, since it was a live performance for Mother 3. And the Deltarune version is just kind of intense. But I do enjoy that both of them have a really good bass line. And the Deltarune song has some stuff. It's sort of like what you said, but I had a specific word for it. Just the way Toby Fox can weave in like other melodies and motifs and stuff in his music. But right around the middle of that song, it gets sort of messy. Or maybe chaotic is a better word for it, because messy sounds like a negative thing. But it's just like a few moments in the song where there's just a lot of stuff going on. But I enjoy it. It really just, that little bit of chaos adds to, well, what I imagine the fight is like, since I still have not played Deltarune. But yeah, I think it works, and it was really fun, like, comparing these two.
Yeah. The fight does get chaotic. Like, you know how Undertale plays, right? Like, you're like it's like a bullet hell thing. It's kind of, it's like that. It's like that. So, yeah. The song kind of matches like how you're supposed to feel. I guess.
Right. Yeah, every time it comes up or someone mentions it, I'm like, boy, I really know I need to, because like I really fell in love with Undertale when I played it, but I'm at the point where I'm like, it's been so long now, like I just want it to be finished, because I feel like if I play chapters 1 and 2, I'll like lose some momentum whenever the rest comes out. So I'm just biding my time and trying not to get spoiled. But I'm like excited for it.
Yeah, same. I'm actually quietly hoping it comes out this year, because it's been like 2 years now since chapter 2 came out, and like he was like hinting at it last year. So okay. Hopefully chapters 3, 4, and 5. Like he plans to release those 3 together. So I'm hoping that he does put it out at some point.
Well, it is. We are coming up on, big game season in June, so
Yeah.
Which is more or less likely to show up at the next Nintendo Direct? Deltarune Chapter 3 or Silk Song? Place your bets now.
I vote for Deltarune.
Well, in my head says Deltarune, and I don't even play Hollow Knight, but I feel bad for everyone, for Jono in particular.
Yeah.
And like everyone hoping for Silk Song, so I'm gonna manifest Silk Song.
The last few months, it keeps showing up on like ratings boards and stuff like that. So I think maybe there really is something happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so, for everyone's sake. I feel like every time another Nintendo Direct or other event goes by and there's not Silk Song, it's just like you talk to any Hollow Knight fans and it just sounds like the end of the world.
Whoa. Amazing.
Thank you. So hey, my songs today are titled "End of the World." If we're ready to move on, anyway.
We are.
Okay, good. I really didn't want to waste that segue opportunity. So, all right. So I have End of the World from Kingdom Hearts 1.5, our first Yoko Shimomura track today. And also End of the World from Paradise Killer. I tried to find 2 very, very high contrast versions of this, and I liked how this came out. So let's go listen to Kingdom Hearts and Paradise Killer, and we will be right back. right, so I will admit, as I mentioned earlier, after scrolling through, at this point, 3,583 songs, I found this pairing of songs here. It won't surprise anyone, but End of the World is not the most uncommon song title or phrase in RPGs. Just in my library, I had these ones, plus a few versions of the Kingdom Hearts one. And also, for some reason, I have the soundtrack for Legaia Dual Saga, even though I haven't played it, but there's also a song in there called this. I'm sure there's plenty more for that matter, but I cannot resist the soundtrack to Paradise Killer. We've only had it on the show once before, so this is only the second time, but the juxtaposition of this song and like the beats and just the cool vibes of Paradise Killer. Also, again, with great bass, pairing that with like the really like sort of unsettling sounds and like sort of like scary melancholiness of Kingdom Hearts. Again, I just couldn't resist the pairing. For Kingdom Hearts, for this song in Kingdom Hearts, it's really hard to top. Like if you want, like I want a song that is like this very specific combination of mysterious and ethereal and foreboding and sort of peaceful. And you know, it's a peaceful as in like a body laid to rest kind of peaceful, but it's still a kind of peace. But I've always liked it, and I don't think we've ever had it on the show, so again, I was just going for like a major contrast here of the same title, but I don't know that I could do much more to make contrast the things here between this really, really hauntingly beautiful Kingdom Hearts song and this upbeat Paradise Killer one.
Yeah, I'd be hard pressed. I can only think of like one other song called End of the World, and it's actually, I mean, I heard it in Fallout 4, but it's a real song on End of the World by Connie Francis.
Oh, it's an actual with vocals.
So, why does my heart go on beating?
Oh, that one.
Yeah, and I don't know, but like, and then it's also so different from these two, so it's a really rich title like to draw from.
Yeah, true.
And I adore both of these songs. I like you. I adore the Paradise Killer soundtrack.
So good.
And I'm surprised it's only been on the show like once before.
Right.
Every song I've heard from it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Have you played?
Contrast.
Oh, sorry.
I actually haven't played it.
No, I haven't either.
Yeah.
I have not.
I just listened to this soundtrack.
I
Yes,
know.
here.
We need to.
We need to.
The contrast that I see for both of this is like, if you're listening to the Paradise Killer version because it's so good, it's like, yeah, it's the end of the world. It's like,
Let's party.
It's so chill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you're like vibing that the world's ending. Something. Meanwhile, the one for Yoko Shimomura is like,
Oh no, it's the end of the world.
It's totally like the summary I could give for both of these songs. But yeah, just like the two of you, I haven't played Paradise Killer, but it's one of those games that I could just go back listening to the entire soundtrack whenever, because it's just so good, and I feel like a lot of people should listen to it and they should know about it.
Yeah, I mean, all the songs I've heard from it have been amazing, so...
Yeah.
It's one of those soundtracks that like when the game came out I started listening to it, and you know, as much as I want to have said I played everything that we feature on the show, I don't always, but I will absolutely promote this soundtrack because I bought the soundtrack right away. Actually, this and Haven, same kind of thing. I started listening to a little bit of Haven and I still haven't got around to playing the game, but I love the soundtrack to that so much. Similar vibes, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I first listened to Haven. I first discovered the soundtrack of Haven before Paradise Killer. So
Okay, that's
you should
on my
listen to Haven.
listening
It's
list.
so good too. I'm sure you brought Haven already, right, Mike, on the show. Episodes.
Yeah, episode 133
Mhm.
was the last.
So it has a
time
groovy vibe. It's a groovy soundtrack.
maybe not groovy.
Yeah, not really groovy.
I don't
Just
know the right
listen
word
to
for it.
later.
Just
Okay.
listen. I don't know. I think you'll like it.
Mhm.
Okay.
You guys all played Kingdom Hearts 1?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, does this end of the world theme play during that when you're in that instance with the when it's dark everywhere?
Yeah, the
with
tutorial is that, but then you also go there like outside of the tutorial. I forgot.
Okay. I looked it up because I don't want anyone to listen and be like, "Oh, geez, why can't you guys remember this?" But yes, end of the world is the last world that opens up in Kingdom Hearts. Even though we all apparently forgot after 20 other Kingdom Hearts games. But yes. And yes, it's after Hollow Bastion, which is why there's like a little bit of I think there's some Hollow Bastion motifs in there somewhere.
Oh,
Right.
Okay, I forgot that's what that last area was actually called. But yes.
There we
I
go.
see.
Please don't hate us, listeners.
Well, you almost
Doing
got
our
it
best.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's been a while. A lot of my memories with playing Kingdom Hearts games is just tainted because of the last Kingdom Hearts title that I played. So
Yeah, I mean, I played it. I played the original on PS2, and then I played the HD one when it first came out. And I don't even want to look up when the HD one first came out because at this point it was a while ago. So yeah, I've only played each version once, so it's been a while.
yeah, same here.
Mostly because 2 is just way better.
Yeah,
Everything is better about this.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd agree.
Yeah. All right. Well, I thought my mentality of setting up these blocks was I didn't want to end the show on End of the World. So I intentionally put my stuff third because I wanted to end with your very chill group of songs, Tim.
Okay, the title of the songs that I brought today is A Safe Haven. Well, one of my tracks is also from Miss Yoko Shimomura, so while the other that one is from Final Fantasy 15, and the other Safe Haven that I brought is from Dragon Quest 7.
All right. Somehow our first Dragon Quest 7 song on the show. So, yeah. All right. Let's go listen to Final Fantasy 15 and Dragon Quest 7's Safe Havenses.
contrast to all of the song picks that you guys brought, mine is both songs that I brought on the show have like they share the same feeling or the same vibe that you get from listening to these songs, and these songs are both comforting and literally how it's called. You just feel safe while this song is playing. And yeah, I haven't personally played Dragon Quest 7, but my brother did, so I was also aware of this song beforehand. And as for Final Fantasy 15, this track like was when I played it, I listened to this because it would also play, I think, during before you start continuing your save. So it's it's like what Gio said earlier. It's like one of those songs that's like a calm before the storm, before you fight something horrible, something difficult or whatever. So yeah, and I think also this also sounds like these two songs can also be like one of those rhythm episodes that we had before where it's like a save thing.
Safe space.
Yeah. It's literally I should have brought one of these, but I'm glad that I found both of these and decided to bring it here in the show. So yeah, the difference I'd say between these two is that the one from Final Fantasy 15 had those really fast strumming sounds, and it really feels like like a warm blanket like hugging you while the rain is pouring or something. It feels more comforting for me than the one in DQ7.
Remember, that's a Coleman brand blanket.
So yeah, for DQ7, I know you've played this, Gio. So do you still remember when this play?
Oh, I haven't actually. I haven't
Oh,
played
really?
DQ7.
Mr. Dragon Quest hasn't played this.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
really
actually haven't played.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Me too.
When Tim was like,
played-
I haven't played this one, I thought Gio would be like, wow, I'm offended.
Oh, I haven't played 7 and 9. Those are the ones I haven't
Ah.
played. So, yeah. I know I'm Mr. Dragon Quest, but I think...
Wow, I should have asked you before.
But, I've had to wager a guess. It's probably a town theme. It sounds like
Could be.
town theme. And actually, like, the one, when we first listened to this, like,
Mhm.
your observation was, like, this is, like, they're in the same key, right?
Yes.
So it sounds kind of like you
Yeah, but
could string them together.
but just different use of like instruments.
Yeah. I wonder what it is about this key that's so... I don't know what key this is, by the way, but I wonder what it is that makes it so comforting,
Yeah.
cozy.
Yeah, I mean, it really brings to mind like kind of a sanctuary almost. Just it's very peaceful and
Oh, speaking of Sanctuary, that's like also one of the single title that I've seen.
Oh, yeah.
While I
that's
was
another
browsing.
good one. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
so many Sanctuary as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, but since I'm a slacker who didn't get all the way to S, I didn't get that far.
That's right.
Until what letter did you reach?
M.
M.
But that's still 8,400 songs. So
Yeah.
okay, yeah, here we go. Sanctuary, at least in my library. Kingdom Hearts 2, Night in the Woods,
Oh, yeah.
Twilight Princess, Link Between Worlds, Valda's Story. That's quite a mix. And also an unused track in Time Spinner. So there you go. Those are the ones I have anyway. Oh, also Final Fantasy 1.
Oh.
Huh.
I'd have to have a Final Fantasy in
It's
there.
alive.
Yeah, right. Right. Well, I'll try harder next time.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Why did you have to bring a Dragon Quest song on Tin? You don't. No. I know what you think. You think you know what I'm going to say, but it's not that. No,
Okay.
like lately, the last like few weeks, I've had this unexplained like urge to play Dragon Quest Builders 2 again. Just pick it up and build some other ridiculous structure.
Man.
And I've been resisting, but then I have this song, and it makes me want to play more. I'm pretty sure somewhere or some part of this song is in that game, but I can't place exactly where it is. But it's still a really lovely little song with instrumentation, as I wrote, instrumentation that exemplifies its namesake. That's one of those things that really sounds good in text, but sounds really pretentious to say out loud. But yeah, I mean, it's like you all said, like it really just makes you feel safe and comfortable. Both of these songs really, and I will never be able to praise Yoko Shimomura enough for her music. I mean, pick anything she's worked on, and it's just fantastic. But the Final Fantasy 15 soundtrack is just so good. Like I go to it a lot for battle music, even though I know everything in there, it is just as good as some of her battle and field songs. And the music plays. This is true for most games, but like for me, like it was so important to the setting of that game. Like it really sold everything they were trying to do, the road trip, the adventure, and then the quieter moments. There's not everything is perfect about 15. I still very much enjoyed it, and but the music definitely helped. It is so memorable, all of it. So, and
Yeah.
this is not one of the ones I listened to that much, and I'm kind of regretting it. So I did, after listening to it for this episode, added it to my a couple of my own playlists. Like I figured it will fit nicely on my sleep playlist, so it's on there now. So listening to it again, I just figured it's really a good song to end your day on, or as it turns out here, end your podcast episode on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you placed this as the last two pair in our show. So it's a good pair to wrap things up.
Oh, well, thank you. I do put, maybe not to the point where I'm scrolling through thousands of songs, but I do always try to like figure out the order of tracks to something that makes sense. I like the idea of opening up with a new world, because the whole theme of those were discovery, and I just knew I didn't want to end with end of the world. So yours were a good ending, and then the two in the middle were the two in the middle. But yeah, there's always some kind of logic behind it. So I'm glad you saw that and liked it too.
Well, now that you mentioned the Dragon Quest Builders, I feel like we're three of us, like you, me, and Gio, would probably lose it if they would randomly just announce DQ Builders 3.
Yeah, I don't really know
But
how
That
well.
would be a surprise one.
I don't know how well the second one did. I would hope pretty well. So hopefully the plan is to do another.
Yeah, but CBU3 has been busy with a lot of other stuff, so
Well, all the more reason. They can
that's
do the
true.
remake of 3 and then Dragon Quest Builders 3 that's a riff on that, and promote it all together. Kind of like how I really feel like all the Final Fantasy 9 they have going on in Dawn Trail is when they should finally reveal the horribly kept secret of the Final Fantasy 9 remake or remaster. Like play off of that.
Yeah, it's like
they
a
can promote
missed
each other.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
I kind of had a feeling like way back in 2022 when like Chocobo GP came out, and like they were using like the Alexandria track to promote it, and I was like, oh, are they hinting at FF9? And it's been years and years now. So
But nope, it didn't happen.
Okay, well, we are way off topic here. So let's. I'm going to bring it back in and do our housekeeping thing, and maybe some bonus tracks that I commandeered for myself.
Battle 1?
Not Battle 1. It's ending theme 1 and ending theme 1.
God damn it.
It wasn't ending theme. There was one. What was it? It was fanfare or something. There was some fanfare ones I thought about would be fun at the end, but one of them was 17 minutes, so I didn't do it. But you'll see. You'll see.
Yeah.
First off, I want to cover the games that made their debut on Rhythm Encounter in this episode. Only 2. This was the first time we had God Eater. I think Audra, you had God Eater 3 in a prior episode.
Yep.
But this is the first time for the first game and the first time for Dragon Quest VII. So, coming up next on Rhythm Encounter, we actually just finished a big internal poll on our upcoming episodes, and we've figured out all of our episodes through early fall. But I'm not going to tell you about any of them today because they actually start after the next 2. So the next 2 episodes coming up on Rhythm Encounter are Pirates. That will be coming up in a couple weeks. It's all pirate themed music. And then, Gio, this was also kind of inspired by you. Do we want to call it Jazz and Funk too, or just specifically City Pop?
Oh, it's not strictly city pop.
Okay.
I put that there because it just so happens the idea is jazz fusion. So
Okay.
and city pop's kind of related to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Anyway, so Pirates and that are what's coming next on Rhythm Encounter. If you have any feedback on this episode, ideas for topics or songs or anything else you want to share with us, if you want to tell us how much you like us, you can email us at music@rpgfan.com. That's also the best way to reach me personally. How can people reach you, Gio?
Oh, you can find me at geo@rpgfan.com if you want to email me. And I'm just 10bstar on the RPG Fan Discord. That's TENBISTAR, one word.
All right. And how about you, Audra?
Oh, Audra B at rpgfan.com. Email's the best way to go.
All right. And Tin?
I can find me also in the Discord server. My name there is literally Tin, and through emails you can send me a message at tin@rpgfan.com.
Awesome. If you enjoyed Rhythm Encounter, be sure to also check out RPG Fan's other podcasts. Random Encounter posts every other Monday opposite of us. Recently, they did an episode on Hades 2, talking about our recent preview of the game. And
Yay!
yeah, and then there's also a Summer Game Fest / not E3. We really need a name for this now. I don't want to keep calling it not E3 forever, but anyway, that's the next episode, I think. Whatever we learn in the coming weeks, we'll be talking about a Random Encounter. Over on Retro Encounter, the show you probably know more than all of the others, Retro Encounter recently posted a Hard to Love RPGs episode, which I would listen to if someone didn't have Nier on there. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm not throwing any shade at anyone. We were just having some fun. But no, I like it. I like the idea of that episode. So that came out yesterday as of this recording, so I have not heard it yet. But yes, Hard to Love RPGs, popular or unpopular RPGs that people want to get into but are having trouble. It's a worthwhile discussion for sure. They are also in the middle of a game journal for Omori. The first episode is up. It's possible the second episode will be up before this comes out, but we will see. And then the next game journal in June for Retro Encounter is Grandia 2. So they did Grandia a while back, so it was just time to do Grandia 2. You can find RPG Fan on most social media, usually as RPG Fan.com. So you'll find us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. We have a Discord. All of those links are in our show notes. Our website is, of course, rpgfan.com. You can also find some stuff in our shop. We have RPG Fan merch, like cups and posters and pillows and baby onesies and all kinds of stuff with the RPG Fan logo. And you can get our RPG Fan review card collection. That's something we worked on with Hyperplay RPG. We released that back in December, and it's been doing very well. The reception has been really positive. It's a collection of about 300 of our game review cards from social media. Many of them were redone, and there's brand new ones in the book. It's been a lot of fun, a really good coffee table book, and we're hoping to do a volume 2. Maybe this fall, but we'll see how it goes. Obviously, the more popular volume 1 proves, the more likely it is we can do a volume 2. So you can check out all of these items at rpgfan.com/shop. So check it out. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review or subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever it is you love to listen to us. Reviews and subscriptions all help us a lot to get the word out. So we are going to close today, not with a 17-minute track, but I still decided that I wanted the bonus track to be a pairing, because that's the theme of the episode. So we are closing with 2 songs called Epilogue. One is Epilogue from Zelda Breath of the Wild, and the other is the Epilogue from Skies of Arcadia. Both felt like really nice closing pieces, and neither one is too long, so we'll have a nice 4 minutes worth of 2 different epilogues. So yeah, that's all we got. We're gonna leave you with Breath of the Wild and Skies of Arcadia's epilogue. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank the 3 of you for being here today. This was a lot of fun, and we will see you all next time for Pirates. Are you seriously telling me that after pouring over 8,500 songs, you have the nerve to say I didn't do enough?
Yeah.